Previously on Kimba TV. FO numbers come out. Press conference. That's what I want. But maybe it is gonna just be the number comes out. Fuck. Okay, all right. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, 46.20. Okay. Let me just get these up and at it. Gammas look a little bearish. Okay, so we got that taken care of. The gammas look a little bearish. Okay, gammas look a little bit bearish. We have all the levels identified and we have them on screen. Okay, I think we're good. Nothing's really changed. So same plan as yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, there was we did a sweep, right? One of the scenarios we talked about is swept. So it did a comprehensive sweep, right? So that was pretty cool. But nothing's really changed since yesterday. I guess it did just kind of bing, 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 bing. Okay, we have an hour and 18 minutes. I'm going to go do my work thing real quick. I was debating if I should start the stream or wait until I was done with my work stuff, but I wanted to at least share the gamma stuff with you guys. So everybody got the gammas? All right, we got 16 minutes. If you need to, make sure you have your helmet on, make sure you do that, okay? If you need to put your diaper on, make sure you do that. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's time to get nasty. It's time to get nasty. It's time to get nasty. Oh, Pixel. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. Snap dizzle for shizzle. I love you, FOMC. I love you, FOMC. Oh, Pixel, give it up for the gammas. Goddamn. Ladies and gentlemen, FOMC Wednesday. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Gucci Magucci. Acker says, what direction is Kimba in? That means that you did not do any sort of prep work, y'all. I showed limits. We talked about like 8 different possible scenarios for today. So that means that you showed up on stream. You didn't even bother watching the YouTube highlights. So just sit back and relax. Just sit back and relax. If you didn't care enough to watch the YouTube highlights from yesterday, let alone, watch the stream yesterday, then there's not enough time to talk about everything at this point. So,
shut up, bitch. You're gonna learn today.
So, if anything, just sit back and relax and enjoy the show, man. Shout out everybody that has a plan. I don't care if you're shorting. I don't care if you're longing. I'm rooting for everybody. The most important thing is that you have your stop loss or your risk management in play. Other than that, you do you, boo-boo. Sprokel says, if BTC was a heart monitor, you'd be checking the plug. Or, as doctors, we knew that the person might be sleeping. So, the VIX is here for a reason, y'all. Let's get nasty. It's time to get nasty. It's time to get nasty, y'all. Market makers are Kimba, the chat sentiment is juicing. I know. I'm sure that market makers are doing the same thing. They're waiting for enough people to be like, oh, this is boring. Boom. Some of you guys have like a sentiment score of like 28%, meaning that 28% of the stuff you said in chat is accurate. Let's get nasty, yo. Come on, baby. Hustler says another sweep. Woo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo-hoo. Shredder says LMAO that wick. You already know what it is, baby. You already know what it is, y'all. Come on, baby. Hot dog, hot dog. Get your hot dogs. Shout outs to everybody. All right, press conference starting in about 5 more minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Phelps says, I'm staying on the sidelines for today, just cheering for you. Hey, I see you, Phelps. Yeah, just to kind of give you a synopsis, we talked about it. The easiest thing would be to play the sweeps. A bank. Anything that leaves this range, it's a little bit more of an uncertainty, but just keeping it super simple, y'all. Let me pull up CME real quick. Let's just, we already know. Look at the bounce off the point of control. Rejected. Sweep. Okay, let's see. If we get a candle close below, you already know what it is, right? Candle close inside value area high, chances of it going to POC much higher, right? Once it goes to POC and gets rejected, value area low much higher. Anything is possible. This is still possible too, you know, like we talked about yesterday, but I would much prefer just play the sweep, man. So there you go. We're back inside the value area range. So let's see what happens, y'all. And remember, you know, the math is the math. The data is the data. What was the thing that I said it was for S&P today? Bearish. S&P is bearish based off of the gammas. So initial move, false, continuing down, pretty normal stuff. So always counter the first move. No, I mean, like if that's why one of the biggest things that I was trying to get people to understand was that's what I mean by take a look at the past, you know, but there's been a couple times where we countered the first move and it took a little bit of time. So eventually we got stopped out, if you guys remember that trade. So yeah, it really hasn't done much. We have 38 minutes left on market close. And so as most of you know, Macaulay Culkin hour should be really, really interesting. Okay, but again, same thesis, just stop loss hunts. Really overly ambitious shorts, go fuck yourself. Overly ambitious shorts, go fuck yourself. But it's still it's still in the range. We're right back in it. If this was truly bullish, you would have done this. But yeah, I mean, like we said first thing in the morning, S&P is bearish. So initial move, debate, boop. And again, it's what we talked about 2 weeks ago in Discord. Even if 28.8 pumps, it could just be a bearish retest. So yeah, I mean, not too crazy of a situation. What'd you guys think overall? I mean, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It played the meme-ish stereotype, you know, first initial move is a debate. I think on Monday somebody was saying like, are you gonna counter the first move? And I said, nah, I don't wanna do that this time. So no short for me, but watching it, it was pretty interesting. It was like, oh God, initial move, debate, bank, right back to where we started. Coke Zero says, waiting for levels to get hit. I'm still here, patient is something I learned from you. Yeah, I mean, unless you were gonna take a sweep again and again and again, that's really the only thing that, if I was gonna scalp and I was gonna try to get into a position, that would be the only thing. I would only be in a short, you know, or a long on this guy, right? Yeah. So until like it does, because the only time that I would really think about longing is if it does this, right? Does some sort of like quote unquote turn it into support bullshit, and then when it breaks that golden poquito, like the swing high, swing low from somewhere around there, and it does that, right? Yeah, well let's keep an eye on that. But I think this is a better sweep. But I think it would be funnier to do this. You know, like 0.5 or something. Yeah, and then when it's like, okay, it has to bounce off of a fib now, it probably, I don't know. But that's actually kind of objectively, that's valid now that it keeps making these higher highs. As we stated in the Discord, I'm not scared to long it, right? But also we talked about how if we do get an initial bounce at the 28.8 level, we need to be making sure that it's not going to just be a bearish retest of support levels getting turned into resistance. So we talked about how I might be joining short team there. You know what I mean? I might be joining long team there. And earlier we talked about how they're going to just keep sweeping this. And, if this candle closes like this, that's another sweep structure. Yeah. And we also talked about how I would actually become bullish. The easiest one will be to wait until it gains acceptance into value area zones and then take a long. So we already talked about if this wants to do this and do some shit like this. But that's why you have to watch, because that's a really easy place to trap. Then you go, got him. So there you go. Just let the CVD open interest kind of guide you. You guys remember what we said? If the price is going up, we would want open interest to blank. We got 35 more minutes on Macaulay Culkin hour, y'all. Whether I was in a sweep short or I was in a long, I would get stopped out during Macaulay Culkin anyways. You know what I mean? So conceptually, if it's support, it is, and you lose it, it's the most like 5th grade TA thing that you learn. It's like one of the first things you learn in kindergarten. Yes, but I am ready. Snap dizzle for shizzle, ladies and gentlemen. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. What are you guys listening to? This is killing me. We got to get nasty. Ooh, it's time to get nasty, y'all. It's time to get nasty. Mas. Well, no, that's not Mas. RG Bargy says barely filled so far. I'm in the same boat. Let's get nasty, though. 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. First area where we would actually take a trade, ladies and gentlemen. At least we're getting to see it together, y'all. Crypto Damu says, are you going to take a trade? Yes. This is, you need to get caught up on the plan, but we drew this like this. So it might be in the YouTube from yesterday. Certainly is something we talked about earlier in the day. Yeah, so it was when some people kept on asking me, are you going to take the sweeps? Are you going to take the sweeps? Even on Monday, somebody was like, are you going to do your normal play where you counter the initial move? And I said, no. I said, I'm going to just wait for my levels. So I'll give you a hint. We're approaching levels where I am going to attempt my first short. I didn't care about any of those sweeps. I didn't care about shorting or countering the initial move. I said, I'm going to wait for my level. Now, what do you think my level is based off of what I said weeks ago? Where I said, even if 28.8 bounces, it could just be a bearish retest of previous support. Okay, so if you, amidst all the chaos and noise, isn't it crazy that I'm still talking about doing what I said 2 weeks ago? It might have been a little bit too early, but these things are very, on the higher time frame stuff, it's not that difficult to kind of figure out. Right? And guess what? If for some reason it breaks above, goes to 786, turns that bitch into support, there's also this sweep that we talked about. And actually after that, and to be honest with you, I don't think I would short that sweep. If it does this, like for sure it's coming back here. Well, I don't want to say for sure, but very, very high likelihood. Okie dokie. So from a risk reward, I already know exactly what my stop losses would be. I know what the invalidation would be. And I'm literally just doing something that we posted in Discord 2 weeks ago. All right, but I said I don't care for any of these sweeps. That's why we didn't take any shorts. Somebody asked me, are you going to do the thing that you do where you counter the initial move? Nope, I'm just waiting for my levels. So this is the first area where we said I might attempt a short. So here we are. Alrighty, after that point, you got to figure out how you want to spread out your entries, what your invalidation would be, all that good stuff. Roger that. And the biggest thing is if this gets turned into support, and I think for the most part, you guys know how I have my limits, yeah? Box. Okay? And if it does this for like 3-4 days, and it comes back like this, you already know I'm gonna attempt that too. High above, so shout out Igor Legend. Yes, and he's in here with an alt account, right? What was the TPO value area high that he had? 650, right? What do you think my first entry was? High above, you already know what it is. The math is the math. You down high above? Okay, there's a man that knows what he's talking about. And if you don't know what I'm doing, always make sure to watch the YouTube highlights, all right? And make sure that you're reading the Kimba's Den in the Discord, because all of this has been talked about since about 2 weeks ago, okay? So you have to kind of get the bigger picture. I was in a short, literally from almost Pico top. My entry was 31771, okay? I closed all of my shorts right in that zone. Okay, and on this whole journey down, we identified all the levels: 29.8, 29.4, 29.2, 28.8, 27.2. Roger that. So once I closed all of my shorts, I was starting to say, whether it's here, whether it's 27.2, whether it sweeps, I'm longing these things. I'm not like overly bearish, okay? We also talked about how even if it bounces here, we're not going to be talking about, all time, like making a higher high, 32, none of that, because the chances are it's going to just turn support into resistance. Alrighty. So somebody was asking, hey, are you going to play these sweeps? I said, no. Somebody asked, hey, are you going to play the initial move as a debate plan for FOMC? I said, no. I'm going to just wait for the level that I'm waiting for and then take a shot. So this is the first area where I am actually going to be attempting shorts. Okay, because that's something that we planned and talked about since 2 weeks ago. Okay, so you guys already see the VWAP. You guys already see the swing high, swing low. You guys should be able to pull volume point of controls, value area highs and lows to be able to determine from a mathematical standpoint what level is support. Try to have confluence that with all the other stuff. The other thing that you need to know about is we also talked about a potential sweep of these highs. So you have to kind of get the bigger picture of, I'm not in a long, but if I was, this would be a significant TP. If I was going to be looking for a short, the only area that I feel like I would have a statistical advantage would be to play something like that. So here we are. We're at an area where for the first time this week, I'm actually attempting shorts. And so I know what my invalidation is, and if it does some shit like that, then I know what my next attempt is. And so amidst all of this chaos, look at my Discord post from almost 2.5 weeks ago, where I say, even if it bounces from 28.8, it could just be a bearish retest of turning support into resistance. So even without me flashing my limits, I think you have a pretty good idea of what I would be doing. Roger that? Invalidation is behind golden pocket. You should have your own. For me, I'll give you an idea. I always will do something like that. But here's the thing. That's why I keep reminding you about how we talked about this could get swept. Okay? And we talked about how it might not make sense for certain people to get stopped out right there only to re-enter right behind it. So you need to figure out what's acceptable for you. What would be your invalidation? Okay? What can you afford to do? Alrighty? So there's really no right or wrong, but this is like we're at a level where I would, for the first time in all this bullshit, like actually attempting a short. So yeah, I mean, now I'm looking at shorts. I got one entry filled so far. Yeah, but because you gotta be like, let's say that this is a local top. This is gonna be an interesting little thing right here. And that would be really bullish. So you would just have to make a lower low, you know. I think if it came down here, like even if it bounced, it's probably gonna make a lower low in my opinion. Do you short some BTC pairs sometimes, Kim? But no, once in a while, but for the most part, no, Robert. I've been using USDT. Pally says, let's go back to 30.5. Yeah, yep. If it bounces at 29, like 3, then yeah, it's probably gonna go back there, Pally. Andre says, would you consider this a rejection? I'm already filled for a little bit, but yeah, it's not too bad. I need to see a structure change. And like I said, man, I need the golden pocket to be broken. Because if it does this bullshit, then it's bullish, man. So let's just be patient. It could nuke, and you don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, it's going to dump. Fuck yourself. Level by level, brother. The math is the math, yeah? I told you guys that I got one filled. You know, I actually said the 650 number out loud. It's the TPO value area high. So if you wanted me to start throwing out some numbers, there you go. Here. But honestly, though, it really shouldn't matter, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So, and so, like, let's say, for example, I'm not streaming tomorrow. That's not going to happen, but let's just for shits and giggles say that I'm not streaming tomorrow. If it does this or this, right? Or for some godforsaken reason, it does this, I could be longing here. I could be longing here. I can be longing here. And I know exactly what we're looking for, right? So, and on the flip side, if it does some weird shit and it does like this, you don't have to be too surprised if I'm in a long here. No. But that's it. There's nothing else in between. Just like how I really didn't play this, those are the only things. The plan really doesn't change too much. So at this point, anybody that is shorting here, me personally, I don't like to keep these limits here and go red. I'm going to get stopped out in tiny profit and then I'll re-enter type of shit, you know? But you should be thinking about all those things. So just in case it happens, you're not letting your emotions take over. You know exactly what you said you would do. At that point, you just need to man up and do what you said you were going to do. But if you took a short attempt there, then you can't lose. It's a free roll at this point. So mid-trade says, where are you thinking about TPing? Definitely, volume point of controls and Fibonacci levels are perfectly fine. So maybe, you know, shave a little bit here and then shave a little bit here and then shave a little bit here, you know, and probably close the whole thing on some sort of sweep. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna, since it's not that big of a position, I'm actually gonna only close maybe half if it does come here, because this can still go to like 27.2. If I got filled on everything, I would have a 260 Bitcoin position. Instead, I only got one hit, so it's 50. So it's small enough where I might just ride it to 27.2 just in case. So I think if it does a sweep, I'll probably close everything once it gets above like the 382, maximize profits, right? If it does some shit like that, I'll put my, I'll close half here, the rest here, you know, and I'll also simultaneously be attempting that. But just in case it does that, I'll keep 25 still running because it's baby anyways. DL says, if your stop loss gets hit, are you still looking to open new positions? Your original no, most likely not, DL, because it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get like one more meal, hang out with baby girl a little bit, and then it's sleep time. And I don't need to blindly enter while I'm sleeping. So that's a negative, DL. If the question was, okay, if I'm gonna be awake, you know, what would I be looking for? The only other way that I would re-enter DL is if it looks like a sweep. Okay, so if I was gonna be awake and I was gonna, and I don't know, do you remember all the stuff that we kind of talked about? You know, how my stop loss would be really tight. You know, I wouldn't really do a Kimba box per se. I might, you know, I think if I was going to anticipate a sweep, I would do something like this and like that. DL. So the only reason would be because of like real life variables. I'm most likely going to be sleeping. If I was going to be awake, then I would only take a sweep of that structure and I would keep that shit real tight. You know? That would be the only thing, DL. So that's another opportunity too, but it would really have to be a sweep. We also keep that fucker in mind, this guy. Okay, and so obviously, like if you're gonna sweep that, then it's gonna be something like this. Something like that. Yeah, so, but no, long story short, brother, no, it's if I get stopped out, I'll wake up to like 10K realized or something, and we'll take another shot tomorrow. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong if the only thing that I would probably attempt if I was awake would be a sweep. That would be about it, brother. Okay, because there's really, if you do get above like the 650, 675, 700, the longer that you stay in, your probability of, you know, trying to get to this next area is very high. You know, if you get like an hourly candle close in this zone, that's actually really bullish. So, yeah, something to keep in mind. So, yes. I don't know what those little server resets from Twitch are. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that is annoying. The internet keeps freaking out. All right, you guys, stay safe. Rooting for you guys. I'm excited to see where we are tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't get stopped out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Rooting for you guys. Stay safe, all right? Peace, everybody. Sato, take it away.
Listen up, you. Oh, it's the truth I speak. Kimber is my name, trading is my game. Bitcoin is my focus, charge all my guide. Profit is my goal, so I never step aside. It is just mathematics, a few trading tactics. Fibonacci is my mate, golden ratio on my mind. You got to respect the trend, or you'll be left.